wanted to ask about that third set where it was a challenge for a centerline fault, and then that was unsuccessful, but then the call was reversed because of the
They said there's a net fault.
Yeah, which apparently, at least that we received the explanation that wasn't what was challenged for. What explanation did you receive from the referee?
So what they can do is, even if you call the center line fault, if they found a fault at all within the play, they can reverse that call because they missed it on the net foul. So that's what, we won the challenge on the center line, but then because one of our players might have been in the net or touched it somewhere, they reversed that call for us. It would have been pivotal, though. It's important, an important point.
Sure, and then a follow-up second question here. You mentioned in the previous questions about the trip to Vegas and then now having to come back to Grand Rapids. Have you made any changes from last season in terms of travel schedule and how you're trying to get the team ready to go when you're doing these road trips?
We don't do the schedule, so we can't change when or where we play. We know that that's just part of this league, is that you have to kind of you have to bounce back, and hopefully it evens out with all the teams that eventually they have to go through those same things. So it's like, how do you manage it? What can I do? I can't. There's nothing.
Sorry, that was the question. Is how are you managing that part?
We're working. We got home at 6 last night and had to play at 6 today. You do what you can to give them the rest and the information that they need to get ready. But you're going to find those things throughout a season, and all the teams will have to do that. What we did is we thought we used that well, but we got back and tried to get a little scout this morning and do a little practice to get ready for what we had today. So. Hi.
Nikki and Kelly from Court Captains Podcast.
Yep.
Got Indy on Thursday.
Yes.
What are you thinking about for that game?
Well, they did a really good job in beating Orlando the other night, and that's a big thing. And they're going to have a huge crowd. There's a lot of support for volleyball in Indianapolis, and so I'm expecting a really good crowd for them. But they have a lot of hometown heroes themselves, so they have a fiery team that plays really hard, and it's going to be a little different than this team. I mean, they're different the way they play, but we need to be able to get back and kind of focus on them and get ready with the days that we do have before leaving on Wednesday.
All right, Carly, first off, it's not how you start the season, it's how it'll end. Just how are you guys kind of reminding yourselves that you are only 2 games in right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard reminder because, of course, we want to win. We've been together practicing against ourselves for a little while, and I've gotten into a good rhythm at practice and have a team personality. I don't think, it hurts to lose by 2 points in Vegas. That could have very well have been a win, and I feel like that is something to remind ourselves that you're 2 points away from either everything feeling amazing or everything feeling a little bit scary. So we want to take the positives from each of these matches, build on it. It's disappointing, but there's not really time to be disappointed. Maybe this evening, but we got to get back to practice and figure out how to beat Indy.
Yeah. What are some of those positives that you've noticed through these first 2 games?
Yeah, I think we've done a really good job with our effort. Like, there's never for a lack of trying. I think we've done a really good job in some scramble plays, being brave and finding a kill. Some executions on some players that we did in the early Vegas. Like, they had to take out some of their starters and put in a second lineup who did an amazing job that evening. But I think we game planned really well for them. So, yeah, I'm proud of us for those things. And I think there's some stuff we can work on too, but we got to remember the good stuff.
Yeah. You said you guys have a good rhythm in practice. How difficult is it to translate that into game day?
I think the personality and the fun that we have in practice, we translate to game day. I think we're a group that likes being around each other. You can't really coach that, so that's a really great thing our group has going for it. And there's a lot of people, you're on a big stage, you're playing new people, so I think there's some pressure, of course, and finding a rhythm when you are under pressure is always a little bit more difficult than the freedom of practice. But I think, like I said, I think our group has done a pretty good job trying new stuff in games, and that's not easy to do, so I'm proud of us.
Carly, you had a lot of success playing high school volleyball in the state of Michigan. When's the last time you played a game here in Michigan?
It was actually against Kathy. Florida played a tournament in Michigan at Michigan State, and I had like 50 people come. I was so nervous before the match. I honestly thought I was going to throw up before the match because no one had seen me play in so long. Luckily, I'm a little bit older, and I handled this a little more gracefully before, but we did win that game, and it was really fun, but that was like 8 years ago, so this is really special.
Any nerves coming into tonight's match, given that it was the home opener and playing in front of a little bit of a home crowd?
Yeah, I think that for younger players, they should probably know, no matter how old someone is, how much they've played, everyone's nervous. They want to win. Nerves are good. It means you care. The second I'm not a little nervous before a game, I'll probably have to retire because that just means you don't care as much anymore. So, yeah, a little bit of nerves, but in a healthy and good way, and just excited to show Grand Rapids what we can do. Could have showed them a little bit more, but that's all right.
Any family here watching you tonight?
Yeah, of course. I have my mom and my brother. My dad's a teacher, so he has school tomorrow pretty early, so he watched on TV. And my fiance had a watch party at our house in North Carolina. And my 88-year-old grandmother actually traveled to Vegas. She didn't make this game, but she flew to Vegas to watch the first game, so that was cool.
How does it feel to get the opportunity to continue your professional career here in, I guess, in your home state, but also just kind of stateside rather than overseas?
Yeah, it feels amazing. Like, I haven't lived in Michigan in a really long time. I, like every high school girl, probably regretted not spending more time with my parents when I lived in such close proximity with them. So, like, I have a little bit more appreciation for family time and how valuable that is. So I'm just really, really thankful to Kathy and this organization and the city for creating such a great environment that this can be a success. So yeah, we really want to give back to you guys, and I'm really, really happy and thankful to be here.
And I know you're only 2 games into the season, but how does the atmosphere of the Pro Volleyball Federation kind of compare to what you've played in front of in Europe over the past several years?
Yeah, this is a bigger arena than I had last year in France. My arena last year seated like 5,000, which we pretty consistently filled. It's always fun to play and to share what you can do with people that you know. I have so much appreciation for the fans who supported us in France, but my limitations of communicating with them did take away sometimes from a real connection with the community. So my French got better eventually, but still it was never something you would write home about. So yeah, this is really cool. And the city knows that they have a professional volleyball team, which is awesome. And people really support us. Everywhere we go, someone asks us about the game, about the team, about what we're thinking. So I'm really like thankful to be in a city that cares.
Eddie White, Ember's Nest podcast. Today
Hi.
was an all-time attendance record for this arena to watch the Grand Rapids rise. You had talked about that a little bit, but what does that mean? Like you said, the city knows that it has a professional volleyball team, but what does that mean to play in front of a record crowd?
Oh, it's amazing. I wish we could have given them a bit better of a game to watch. For us, I hope that they're not deterred from coming to future games. We're going to keep working and have some really amazing evenings here with the Rise and with who we play. But yeah, it means a lot. I think that we really respect the work that our owners, Kathy, our coaches, our trainers, and the media team does for getting people out and getting people excited. So it's a reflection of all their hard work. And I think that as players, we have so much appreciation for the people putting in that work to get people here and to show them how great volleyball can be.
First game as a member of the Grand Rapids Rise. How'd it feel to get out there and make your debut here in Grand Rapids in front of the crowd?
It was enjoyable to be there. It's never enjoyable to lose. But I think our fans were like itching and clawing to get behind us, to rally with us. When we did take a lead a few times and we had a few good plays, you could hear them just roaring, which I love, which was incredible. Of course, I wish I could have that one back, right? I wish I could. We could give them more to scream about, more to be excited about, and I know throughout the season we will, but it was really cool to see what the environment would feel like. It definitely felt like home, which is nice, and I'm excited for what's gonna happen. We have a long season ahead of us, but it was nice to see everyone rally, and I want to give them more to rally behind.
Sure. And such a close match in the opener against Vegas, and then I think you dropped the last 3 of that one, and then obviously getting swept here. What do you think are some of the keys to kind of turning it around and getting back on track like you were in those first 2 sets against Vegas?
When we came out in Vegas, we were just fiery. We were just determined to put our stamp on everything. We didn't think too much, which was really nice. It's always good to just trust your training, trust your coaching, and go out and play. I think we started to get a little hesitant, right? We kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit. And then we started searching, trying to make things happen, right? Try to take over one player's job and do another player's job instead of staying focused and just letting each other be a team. So I think we're still finding that gel, we're still finding that chemistry. In practice, things go really smoothly, but sometimes in game time, you know, when you have players that may be a little younger or not as experienced, the lights, the sound, all those things can start to get to you. So I think as the season goes on, we're gonna settle and gel in there. But I would say we were just fearless, and I think we lacked that in those last 3 sets and then tonight as well.
I think you were talking about how you were maybe thinking a little more this
Yes.
match than just kind of going with the flow.
Yes.
Can you talk a little more about maybe some of the contributing factors that led to that?
I mean, Omaha's a good team, right? They have a very good offense. I think we could blame it on travel. We could blame it on, you know, not being as fresh as daisies as maybe we were the first game and things like that. But I do think we're searching. We're just trying to find what works instead of sometimes just playing our game and being a team and being united. We were all trying to find different pieces, maybe cover for this person or do something we don't normally do or start to, you know, make the game more than it is instead of the basics. So I can't tell you why we didn't do that, you know, in Vegas and then did it tonight. I could blame it on nerves. It's only the second game. What I do know is our roster is extremely deep. We are all extremely talented. And so it's more so we want you guys, of course, the result, but we just want people to see what it is we see, you know, in practice and behind closed doors. So I know we'll get there, but I think just a little bit chaotic, and we just have to settle in it and find our rhythm.
Come to Grand Rapids from the Greek League, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just talk about getting the opportunity to continue your pro volleyball career, you know, in the United States, and yeah, early impressions of just playing in the PVF.
Yeah, the league is very competitive. It's a lot more competitive than it was, I think, last season. No shade to them. I just think more of us that were over there are coming over here, right? So you have more experience and older girls and things like that, which is making it really fun. The professionalism is top notch. I think Europe you get more experience. You're playing against Olympians and, you know, national team players, older girls and things like that. But sometimes the professionalism can lack a little bit. But here, you know, you're starting to get a mix now that a lot of us have come over here, as well as just the coordination with, you know, staff and media and all the things. It makes it really easy as a player to just play. The competition is really fun. The crowd interaction is really great. No one's throwing coffee or like bottles at you or booing at you, which happens a lot in Europe. No tea, no shade, but I've had a coffee cup thrown at me a couple times. And, you know, just to be able to be in America, right? Like to communicate to, I don't know, many people don't know what it's like not to be able to communicate with someone and still try to do your job efficiently, right? And so it's just nice. Like I can say something, I don't have to repeat myself, or I don't have to break my English up a little bit just to talk to someone. And you can develop relationships, right? Like I have good friends from Europe and things like that, but it's nice to like go to Starbucks or go to Chick-fil-A and, you know, just be a regular American, I guess. You know, I don't have to like transform into a different person. So a lot of good things. And I do think that this league is going to grow immensely. We're still in the beginning stages of it, which is exciting. And there's a lot to look forward to.
Today was a Grand Rapids Rise attendance, all-time attendance record.
Oh, wow.
What did that mean to you to play, obviously, the first game, but also in an attendance record game?
What was the number?
Almost 8,800.
Yeah, it was
Oh, wow.
8,706.
This is the first I'm hearing that. Wow, that's incredible. It just shows how popular volleyball is getting, how people are recognizing the athleticism and the skill that it takes to find a ball in the middle of the air and you know, and hit it and dive and do all these things with our bodies. And it's nice that people are appreciating our sport and women's sports in general. I think that with the growth and the popularity from the college game now trickling into the professional game in the States, hopefully we can catch up to Europe, right? You know, in Turkey or in Italy, volleyball is bigger than soccer, it's bigger than basketball, it's huge. So we're just hoping to get that opportunity here. And it's cool to see that 8,800 people see that, you know, and I hope that soon. What's the maximum capacity of Van Andel?
It's probably like around 11,000 for concerts and stuff like that.
Well, let's hope we can get 11,000, you know. And it's just an honor, to play in front of these people. And I hope that, you know, yes, we're players, but we care about, you know, the young girls that are sitting in the audience and that are watching us, and hopefully to be good role models to them and, you know, give them something to look up to, give them someone to look up to, and yeah, just keep growing it.
So yeah, Simone, year 2 with this franchise. Yeah, just talk about why Grand Rapids was an appealing place to return to for your pro volleyball career.
Kathy and the entire staff are so caring and responsible, and we just don't have to worry about anything except playing with them. Our facilities are state of the art. I feel like the DeVos take care of us and are one of the most like involved owners in the league. There's tons of reasons to play for the Rise.
And to be able to compete in your home state, I believe you're a Northville native.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what does that mean to have a chance to continue your pro volleyball career in front of some home state fans?
Yeah, it's everything. I'm not used to playing in front of people that I know, so it's more pressure, I think. But it's cool to play in front of people that you know and like to leave the game and have texts from family members rather than having everybody sleeping while you're playing because of the time difference. So something to get used to, but I think it's a positive.
Any family here watching you play today?
My mom and my grandma.
And what do you think you learned from last year playing in the PVF that is kind of helping you prepare for what to expect in year 2?
I just learned that you gotta just go take stuff. Like being tentative and trying to control stuff isn't the way to go. Like everybody in this league is really good, and you have to go take wins and take points if you want to take points. So I feel like this year I'm feeling more aggressive and more like on the attack rather than just trying to be like a control player, I guess.
A lot of new faces on the roster this year. Talk about some of the challenges and kind of forming that chemistry and kind of getting everyone to gel early in the start of the season here.
I feel like in the start, we're just kind of throwing stuff out there as far as like, obviously they're well thought out, but like you're throwing a lineup out there and seeing what happens, and you're just like trading people for people and seeing what works. And I think one lineup in the beginning of the season is never going to be the same as at the end of the season. So there's usually a point where we put something out there, it really clicks, and we just roll with that until something else happens. So, and we all just really trust Kathy and the coaches to make the right choices for us.
And based on what you've been seeing in practice, what do you think this team's potential is down the line?
Amazing potential. I think that you could see that today. Like people came off the bench and did amazing things for us. Erica, Cam, and Ali Bassinelli. And it's also good motivation for starters because you know that if you're not getting the job done, you could be doing a great job, but if it's still not enough, we have someone to come in and try to do even better. So I think it pushes all of us that we have such depth.